What is going on, guys? It's the Mad Dragon. It's a Tuesday, which of course means we've got the next update out for Rugby 25. We'll do the same as we've done with all these update videos. Timestamps in the description and in the timeline of the video to jump to any section that you want. We'll check out the patch notes and go on to play a game and see what changes have come around. Now, over the course of the weekend, I've been playing a bit more of the Xbox version of this game, and I've seen something going on with the FAQ page. I've seen a couple of people saying they believe that the Steam version on PC is ahead of the version on the Xbox, and people are saying, why is it not sort of balanced? Seeing over on the FAQ page that J&T got involved and said, that isn't true, they're not, you know, it isn't, the PC version isn't ahead. Very weirdly, my experience of playing the Xbox version over on sort of Saturday evening, it was after the Women's Six Nations, was that it felt like the Xbox version was ahead. I put a good sort of 3-4 hours into the game. The pace of the game felt like it was much quicker. The players were sprinting all over the place. The stamina system felt different. I even had a couple of games where the stamina went back to 100% after half-time, which I haven't experienced before on the PC version. I saw new sort of tackle animations coming in. It felt like there was new animations for the handoff and stuff. Didn't feel like there was as much momentum generated with the handoff. You didn't really get to gain a lot. You sort of got shut down. Bump offs were working on the Xbox version, and all sorts of other manner of things. Now, I've seen the patch notes quickly. We'll chuck them on screen so we can go through the patch notes today, but just sort of bear in mind some of those things that I've mentioned there from my experience on Saturday evening with the Xbox version to today on the PC version. Dear players, a new update is now available. You can read the full notes here. Balance player speed. Player role and attributes have greater effect on movement speed, so different players in different positions will move faster or, you know, maybe slower, maybe be affected a little bit more by the fatigue and fitness of players. Balance kicking. Player role and attributes have been greater effect on kicking ability, so, you know, fly half should be able to kick better than a prop, as you'd like to be expecting from that. Balance difficulty. Reduce the amount of tackle assistance given by AI-controlled players and improved AI defensive tactics on harder difficulties. Well, we're playing hardest today. We'll get tested in what that's going to be bringing to it. Improved animations. Tackle and fend animations have been improved. Again, I feel like this is what I experienced on Saturday, and I didn't play the Xbox version after Thursday to see if that was the update, or maybe there's been another sort of background update to the Xbox version, and then of course the improved stability as well. But I just found it so interesting that I was like, man, the Xbox version feels different. There's lots of extra things that aren't in the PC version, and they now seem to be in these patch notes. Like the speed of the players, the tackle animations for fend off animations, even the passing structure that the AI was doing, I noticed a couple of different bits as well, playing on the Xbox version that wasn't really present in the PC version. They were playing a little bit different. So I just realized I got my mouse on screen as well. Sorry about that. So yeah, we'll play as some different teams. You know what? I've actually really enjoyed playing as some of the other teams that maybe aren't in the sort of standard European teams. I've seen a couple of I've shared the videos out, of course, when I do these updates, and seeing that the actual like international teams have been saying, oh man, Mad Dragon's playing as our team. Let's like share that on Twitter. It's like, great. You know what? We've got to give a bit more sort of image to some of the teams that maybe you don't get to play as in other games. Let's do Germany. That sounds fun. I don't know a lot about the German rugby team. And who else we got going on? Let's do Germany versus what we rated 60 something, 67. Let's go up against Malta. Why not? Germany versus Malta will be our game. We'll keep it on hardest difficulty. Let's check it on any changes to any of the other stadiums or anything. I don't know if I've ever done a game on Tokyo Stadium. Let's do Tokyo Stadium. That sounds fun. And we'll just jump in and we'll test out these things, because I want to see if this game is now going to feel like how it did for me on the Xbox. Now, as I said, I don't know whether another little push update came out on Saturday, and maybe that's what I played on the Xbox, not the Thursday update. Or maybe the Xbox version is ahead, but then people have said they felt the PC version was ahead of the console version, and J&T has even said on the FAQ page that isn't the case. I don't know what the answer is. I can only talk from my own experience. But so player balance the player's speed. So we'll test about, you know, whether our wingers are going to be having a lot more sort of pace on them. That was one thing I did actually notice playing on the Xbox version. Some of the AI players were sprinting like 3 times quicker than any other player on the field. It was like, wow, this guy's really moving. There was different animations from catches, from kickoff. It wasn't just the standard lifting. There was real contestable catches. You didn't know who was going to come away with the ball. And it felt like a positive experience in quite a few regards. So I was like, it just feels different to the PC version. So let's test it out today. Germany coming in. Oh, are Germany actually sponsored by Big Ant Studios? Do they have that big I don't know the German international kid, unfortunately. But we're on to the Germans. So, Pargets are going in. Also, something I noticed in the edit last week, which I didn't actually notice, a few more teams seem to have more names of their players now in the actual, player bar at the bottom. And I was like, oh, it's not quite as many positions, which is nice to see, because that was one thing that does really bother me. Oh, my guys have all just run away. Not very helpful. Let's see if we can get a turnover. Something else I noticed on the Xbox was that getting turnovers was really tricky. I'm not really getting, I might have got 1 or 2 turnovers in a game. They'll go for this classic out-wide passing. Let me cut back inside and try and chop this guy down. So we're looking for different player speeds. We're going to be looking for different kicking as well today. They're going to go for this other pass angle. A little bit more like that was something that I also experienced on the Xbox, was that one where they did like a double pass, but cut back inside against the grain a little bit harsher, and did catch me out a few times because I was expecting to go wider. That was a nice choice of pass by the AI. Okay, that's what we like to see. A little bit more different than the just sort of standard 3 passes. Oh, now that wasn't as good as a pass. Improved animation. So the Fend animation, I would like the ball back. Maybe I should have actually played as a much higher rated team just to have had a bit more ball possession here. I think we're still technically rated the higher team, so we should be able to get turnovers and the ball back. The AI is certainly wanting to hold on to it for a sweet second here. Let's see if we can get it back. Reduce the amount of tackle assistance given by AI control players. Well, we are playing on hardest difficult, so really this is just me straight up against the AI, which, should be a fun game. I would like to think on the hardest difficulty there's basically no AI assistance, so really I should be able to let go of the controller, is what we're saying. If I hold the controller, theoretically, they should be able to do a lot more, because there should be much less AI assistance, right? I'm literally not pushing any buttons. I'm gaining ground. They're doing better than I was actually playing the game. Let's go for another one here. Yeah, we're shutting them down. Still feel like this is the hardest difficulty. I still feel like there's quite a lot of AI assistance in there. Has anyone learned to catch the ball yet from the fullback position? Doesn't look like it. Right, let's get in here. Let's try and hold on to the ball for the first time in the game, taking us 16 minutes. Let's test out bump offs, because they work on the Xbox version. I'm still yet to have a single one work on the PC version. Still not working for us. I actually went the opposite way that time, but they've decided to ignore me. Let's go back left again. I still want to try and go this way. Let's go for a Fend. Nice little offload there. We'll go for a secondary Fend on this boy up here. Oh, didn't work that time. But one thing I was noticing is that the Fend animations, which is something I was asking for personally, was that the Fends felt a bit... They're obviously too easy. They're like basically 100% success rate just to get through your first defender. The problem was that it was you beat the first defender and then you just carried on sprinting. It was like you brushed them aside like a feather. It does feel like the animations have changed to be that although you sort of push them aside, you really lose a lot of momentum doing it, which means a second defender gets in and shuts you down, which is much better. And is something I would like to see. I'm really not making a lot of ground by doing the Fends, even though they're successful. I'm really not getting anywhere, but good, because at the minute it is a bit of a cheating tactic, so I'm glad they've been able to fix that. Still haven't got a bump off. Very weird that it's... There we go. So there is a bump off. It looks like they've been able to fix that. That was something I haven't been able to do as of yet on the PC version. That's my first one. And again, animation-wise, it used to just be you just barreled through someone and carried on running at full tilt, and you made a huge breakaway. Whereas now it's like you sort of knock that first guy over, but obviously you bump him off, you lose all your momentum. Probably a second defender's going to get in there and shut you down. So, you know what, I do think they have improved that, but it is weird. Oh, hello. Oh, we lost it. Oh, okay. Can we cycle around and get that one back? They managed to get involved and take that one back from me. But I like that the animations have changed. I like that it's not quite as easy to just blitz through a player's defense now by just doing the handoff or the bump off. You really lose a lot of momentum. Probably still a bit of cheese going on with you use that in conjunction with the amount of offloads you can get away with now. But it's better to not just be able to do handoff and just breeze through and walk over for a try. There we go. You got a nice handoff for me. Second guy got in, driven him back. Didn't really make any meters from the handoff anyway. Oh, we actually got our own turnover there as well. Nice. Okay, let's we've got to try and test the speed now. So this is going to an outside centre, getting to my number 5 there, and then to my fullback. Did feel like my fullback was actually quicker than my lock there. The fitness is still an issue. Obviously playing with lower rated teams now as well, which won't help. Went for an offload there. Shouldn't have gone for the offload. But the fitness levels still feel way too low. You know, we're in the first half. I've barely had any of the ball. And my fullback ran out of fitness very, very quickly then. Do want them to adjust that fitness. But it did feel actually like my fullback was certainly quicker. than my lock, which was nice. I don't know how we're going to be able to test this. Testing the kicking is probably going to be a little bit tricky. This is going to land in the arms of a... Well, I'm going to say land in the arms. If anyone actually wants to catch it. Nope, no one wants to catch it. Okay, great. That should be fixed as well. That's been about 4 or 5 patches now. I feel like we've had that thing where they don't catch the ball after a kick, which is very, very annoying. Oh, I was trying to go wide. Oh, loose ball again. Man, they're struggling to get these passes away quite as crisp as what I experienced last week. In the updates, I felt like I had some really nice handling. I could really sort of pop pass away. Now, I do think the team rating, does impact how easily you can do that. I've tried recently playing with a few more lower rated teams. And off you go. Had enough. But I played a little bit more with the lower rated teams just to test out the difference between the higher rated teams. And it does feel like handling is worse with the lower rated teams. The scrummaging, you tend to lose a lot more scrums and stuff. So they are sort of being impacted a bit by those team ratings. But, you know, you still want to have a bit of ability to get those sort of passes away. So, at the minute, how are we standing? I do feel like the player speed is different. I would like to have a little bit more time on the ball. I'm going to try and hold on to it here rather than go for the kick straight away. Let me, oh, actually managed to do okay, get a sidestep in there. All right, let's go. I'm still bunched way too much. Let's go out right here. This is going to my number 5 again. Out to my winger to be able to test the sprint speed of players. There goes my fullback as well. Don't know what those guys were doing behind me there. Right, we had some good pace. Still making some good pace. We've got a guy on the inside here. Let's get it into my number 12. 9. Good steal. Wasn't expecting that. Thought a guy was on my shoulder there. I does feel like my fullback is faster than my number 5, who for some reason is the guy who keeps sending the ball as one of my forwards. But I would probably say that's had a thing. It's just the fitness draining a little bit too quickly on them. So they go for another kick. Will my guy catch it this time? Wow, actually did. Great to see. Was under some pressure. Oh, get in here, boys. Right, let's give it to my number 4. And let's just test if we think number 4's go a bit faster. It's hard to compare 2 players directly to each other because there just isn't enough room to be able to feel like you can get away with the ball. There we go. To my number 13. Managed to get around the outside of the number 4 that time. So I actually managed to get around the outside of their lock. So it felt like maybe my player was actually a little bit quicker there. They got it. What even happened? Hold up. Let's go review that footage. Let's zoom on in. So it's a little bit fast forward. So they clearly, for one, my guy literally placed the ball the wrong way. Got to have words with him, coach, because that's poor. Then number 7 came in, picked it up. What did he? What happened? I literally have no idea what... It doesn't seem like he did a pass animation. The ball teleported into touch. Very weird, but okay. Let's play around with it for now. So we'll drop this one back. Let's try and go for a kick here. So number 15, little kick over the top. Not a great kick by my 15. Don't know what all the player ratings are going to be for kicking attributes and what have you, but not a great kick by my fullback there. I really want to try and get it in the hands of a forward somehow to test out what their kicking is going to feel like. Let me go back to Y. Oh, that was number 12. Number 12, that was probably sort of on par with my 15. You know, a couple of centres have got some good kicks. Sometimes players play at centre also, you know, fly halves and stuff. They can, you know, if you think of Roman Entimet can play at 12, or, you know, Owen Farrell back when he was playing did 10, 12. So, you know, it's not unreal for 12s to be able to kick. I really want to get this to a forward, if I can do here. Here's my number 14. Oh. Can I have a forward, please, to be able to get a kick away? Let's go for my A pass here with number 7. Did that really feel that much different to my number 12? Again, a flanker can kick a ball quite far, but I didn't feel like it. You know, I was massively pressed there. Felt okay. Where's another forward? Haven't really got a forward to be able to pass to there. Let's just go out wide. I still want to score a try. That'd be nice. Let's just try and charge up this right-hand side. Still a bit too deep, not having my support players alongside me there. Number 4. Felt basically the same as what was going on with my number 7, sorry, for kicking-wise. I feel like that was pretty on par. Maybe my 15 kicked further, but it wasn't to an extent that you can quite clearly see that, you know, I've got a player there with a better boot compared to someone else. They felt all pretty even along the way, which was I thought maybe there would be a lot more of a discrepancy, which is something actually not many rugby games have ever really got, bang on, because it's quite hard to judge how far can a prop kick a ball. Probably, a good chunk of meters, but it shouldn't really be someone as skilled and as trained as a fly half or a fullback being able to get it right. Number 15, let's go on a charge here. Because we want to get a score, we want to test something out today. And actually see about some... So, tackle animations-wise... Oh, a little bit sliding through there. Number 8. I do think the player speed actually does feel different, because like my number 8 there really just could not get away, whereas my winger actually felt like he had a great burst of pace. Oh, little side step there. Oh, we still got Invincible Players. We've still got Invincible Players. Well... Yeah, that's unfortunate. Something I didn't showcase actually last week either was the put-down tries. They've now really tried to take away the tries where you get held up over the try line. They've added back in what happened in the early access where you get tackled and your guy actually like reaches out and scores a try, which is nice. I've had a couple getting tackled in the 5-meter line and reached out and score a try as well, so I'm glad they've added that in. But Invincible Players still in the game. It is, that's a bit of a thing to be broken. I've seen quite a few people make comments about that with it's just doing the offload. Doing an offload successfully and getting it away seems to end up with just having an invincible player that nobody can stop. Also feels like this game has gone much quicker. Not sure what that's about. It was actually something I've not really mentioned in the FAQ pages or brought up and stuff, but I play on the 5-minute halves, and most of these videos end up being like 40 minutes long because the game takes like 20 minutes. Today, this game has taken like 15 minutes on 5-minute halves, which is very interesting. It does feel like the game itself is sped up. So number 11 sprinting now. He's outrunning most of these players. A couple of backs getting back from me. I'll go for 1-0 inside pass here out to 13. We can, well, I've got all my... I'm looking for some forwards if we can have one. There's my number 3. I mean, my number 3 is... Well, all right. I feel like my number 3 was certainly slower than my winger, right? You could see that difference when he was running the pace. In fact, can we quickly get into the to a replay there? Cause I kind of want to see that at the end. Having a look at full to so we played the full 80 minutes. So here's the speed of my winger. Going 1, 2, 3, 4. He's running that sort of. It's taken him about 4 seconds to get from halfway line to 22. We passed it back inside. So here's the number 3. I feel like that is slower. I feel like that my prop is certainly running slower than my winger was. Right? I think that's fair to say. It might not be as big as people would want it to be, but it does feel like he's trundling along a little bit more. Now, I did press A about here to put down the try, and he kept going and kept going and kept going. You can see where I've pressed A to dot it down. But they were able to bring me back up to then make a tackle to put me over. Certain things like that also need to be fixed as well. But that game's done. It's taken me 20 minutes of filming at this point to be able to get that. And it does feel like that is a quicker match. I feel like that was something I noticed on the Xbox as well. I felt like the games were ending a little bit quicker, which is good, because sometimes they can feel like they go on for a while. Let's give some thoughts and feedback then on that, because a little bit janky, a little bit all over the place. Harder testing today, because there's not something specific to just take a look at and review. So, balance the player speed. Player role and attributes have a greater effect on movement speed. I think it's fair to say you can see an adjustment. Is it 100% bang on? I'd have to have a real good think about it. You certainly want a winger to be able to outrun players. You also don't want them to be, as we probably all experienced in Rugby 22, wingers dominate the game because they're so fast no one else can do anything with them. There was a point in that, though, where I was able to take, I think it was one of my centres, I was able to actually get around the outside of a lock and run down the wing. Stuff like that's really nice, because in early access and since launch, you couldn't really do that. Obviously, a centre should really have more pace than a lock. So being able to take them on one-on-one and actually go around the outside of them and back your own pace, like that's available. Wingers, difficult as well. We're also playing as Germany, slightly lower rated team. Stats are all going to be dropped down a little bit. But we saw at the end there, the prop is certainly slower than the winger. I'm not going to say that's perfect all around. I think you can probably tweak that more, but I'm glad to see that they've seen that probably in the feedback and adjusted that a bit more, and it is something they're trying to target, which is good. Balanced kicking. Player role and attributes have a greater effect on kicking ability. Now, this one was hard to tell whether that means like kicking at posts, because we've seen props kick at posts in this game. May well be. Kicking from hand, I really felt like all of my players kicked about the same distance. I held down for as long as I could and got about the same sort of kicking away. I don't know if you had, like, you know, as doesn't happen in real rugby union, but in this game you can occasionally get a prop filling in at scrum half, do a box kick. You know, that might be a bit more evidence of how range their kicks are going to allow it to be. Really felt like I was able to get a kick away with my centre versus my flanker versus my lock. We're all about the same. I didn't notice a great deal of difference. Not sure if it allowed you more time. Fullback as well. Don't know the team ratings and the team stats for kicking, but also felt like my fullback didn't really get it that much further. I'd be expecting a fullback to get a much better kick on it. I've also not seen about the kicking to touch penalties and stuff as well. People have flagged that it's everyone kicks left-footed when kicking penalties, which is also a bit weird, but they've not mentioned that in the patch notes or anything. Balance difficulty. Reduce the amount of tackle assistance given by AI control players and improved AI defense tactics on harder difficulties. We just played that on hardest difficulty. I let go of my controller. I let go of the buttons. We made ground on defense. My defense was too good, and my own players were dominating, and we actually made beaters. No, I would disagree with that one. I don't think that's a real impact to that game. I was able to just hold up there easily. I wasn't even pushing buttons. AI defense as well. It feels more broken, which is nice. I mean, that last attack I did there, I went down the wing, then I passed it back inside, then I kind of ran laterally, then I did another pass, it went out to my prop. I feel like I was still able to carve through that defense when I wanted to, when I wasn't just doing the sort of messing about, trying to do the kicking and stuff, and testing the sprint speeds and stuff. Still feel like I was able to get around them. I don't think that's a terrible thing, because that is how rugby works. You get into open play, you're able to run around. The only problem for me is that, you know, I want that level of me being able to run around them on medium, you know, whereas I'm playing on hardest. On hardest, I'm expecting it to be more solid, more defensively difficult. So again, I'm not really sure I'd sort of give that a tick anywhere there. Improved animations. Tackle and fend animations have been improved. Yes, I think they have. I think they were improved on Saturday, because I played it on Saturday on the Xbox. That felt exactly the same. That felt exactly the same as what I played on the Xbox on Saturday. So I don't know what's going on, because I noticed it immediately. The fends and the bump-offs, you know, lost all your momentum. It's all positive stuff, but I noticed it on the Xbox, even though they've said it isn't. And other people have said the opposite way, and they said the PC version was ahead. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how that could possibly be a thing. I do agree they have been improved. The tackle animations have been improved. We saw the shoulder tackles in last week's video, which is also very common for using Y. Not sure why that is. Pressing Y on those tackles a lot of the time goes for a shoulder tackle where they shrug you off and still makes it feel kind of useless. I'm still waiting for the tap tackles to come back in. If you've watched the Osprey series I did on the channel, there was a game where we went up against Leinster, and Hugo Keenan wouldn't let me score, kept tackling me for unbelievable tap tackles, which was using the Y button, and I was like, this is great, this feels awesome. That was in early access. They're gone. I don't know where they're gone. I would like those tap tackle animations to come back in and have the AI absolutely dominate you with the tap tackles. It felt great for the way the animation worked. So I'm still not sure where they've gone. I do agree the tackle and fend animations are now better. Bump offs now seem to be in the game. Still hard to get on the PC version. I was doing them for fun on the Xbox version, but still difficult on there. Might be something to do with Germany's team attributes. You know, there's all sorts of up in the air things in the background for this game. Still no crashes for me. On the PC version or the Xbox version, actually, I've had no crashes. I would like to know. In fact, I'm not even seeing people flag them in the FAQ page about crashes and stuff. I would like to know what that is. We couldn't test it a quick line out today either. So as updates go, I mean, the update feels fine. It feels fine. There's not as much as a noticeable difference as it was in last week's patches, where I was like, the game felt better. It felt crisper. It felt more secure. We also had that one weird thing where the ball flew into touch for no reason. Don't know what that was about. Not experienced that before. It's not quite as noticeable. The fend animations and the tackle animations being better are better overall. Sprint speeds being different for players, I think, are better as well. Kicking, I didn't notice that much. And the AI defensive work, I didn't notice that either. The AI is doing a few more different passes in attack, which is nice. I want to see it. It does still feel to be better. The AI was better in early access, though. I don't know why that's a thing. Maybe they've gone back and tried to do a whole rework of how the AI was in order to and this is a building block on our way there. But, you know, I'm still I'm still at no point in that game was like they're going to score here. It didn't feel like it. I'm messing about. I'm testing things. I'm still running through them. We were pretty even match teams there. Both lower rated teams. No substitutions. Fitness not really, bothering me too much towards the end as well. There's still things that they need to work on the attack and defense of the AI, but it is feeling better from a more open gameplay perspective. But the AI attack is certainly letting the AI down at the minute because it just doesn't feel like they're ever going to do anything. Unless they get one of those invincible runs. Let me know down in the comment section, guys, your thoughts on this update, whether you've played it yourself, whether you're just watching it in the video, any noticeable differences, any changes you still want to see. Make sure you drop it down in the comment section and get over to the FAQ page for Big Am Studios so that those guys know your main concerns about this game. What's the first things you want to see change? Because that's the only way that they're going to get them to change the main things that people keep telling them over on the FAQ page. I'll see you all next time, guys. Bye-bye.